Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to try and crack the code on virality. Is it all just science, or is it, I don't know, a lucky roll of the dice? We're going to unpack the formula for capturing mass attention.
All right, let's just dive right in with a question that really gets to the heart of it all. I mean, why did a video of a guy just skateboarding and drinking cranberry juice suddenly get seen by the entire world? Was that just pure, random, unpredictable luck? Or is there maybe a hidden system at play here that we can actually figure out?
And you know, that question, it brings us right to our first section. We're going to tackle the biggest myth head-on. Is this whole virality thing just luck? Or is there an actual science behind what catches on?
So you can see the two competing ideas right here. On one hand, you have the common myth, right? That going viral is like winning the lottery. It's just random chance. But on the other side, we've got the reality, which is that it's actually a pretty structured system. It's this powerful mix of human psychology, platform algorithms, and, repeatable patterns.
And this isn't just a theory. Wharton professor Jonah Berger puts it perfectly. He says, virality isn't luck, it's not magic. There's a science behind why people talk and share, a recipe, a formula even. So the whole process is way more predictable than we think. It's not some kind of magic. It's really just about understanding the mechanics behind it all.
Okay, but, and this is a really big but, this formula doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's actually operating inside what physicists call a chaotic system. You've probably heard of the butterfly effect, right? Where these tiny, almost insignificant changes at the very beginning, like, I don't know, the exact time you post something or a tiny tweak in a headline, can lead to these massively different and, pretty unpredictable results down the line.
So if we're saying it's a science, then what's the first and honestly the most critical variable we need to look at? It's the hook. In those first few seconds, you either make it or you break it. This is without a doubt your most important window of opportunity.
3 seconds. That is it. That's all you get. In this endless fire hose of content we're all scrolling through, you have about 3 seconds to give someone a really compelling reason to stop their thumb from moving. That tiny little window, it's absolutely everything.
So how do the pros actually pass that 3-second test? Well, a lot of them use what's called the 3-hook rule. Think of it like a layered attack on your senses all at once. First, you've got the visual hook, what they see first. Then there's the verbal hook, the very first thing that's said. And finally, the text hook, that text you see right on the screen. The trick is all three have to work together, like instantly.
And the whole point of these layered hooks is to create something called a pattern interrupt. I mean, think about it for a second. When you're scrolling, it's kind of hypnotic, right? It's a very repetitive motion. A great hook is like a jolt to your system. It's that sudden sound, that weird visual, or a really provocative statement that just completely shatters that rhythm and forces your brain to wake up and actually pay attention.
And why do these hooks work so well? It's because they're tapping into these deep psychological triggers that are pretty much hardwired into our brains. We're talking about things like creating a curiosity gap, triggering our fear of missing out, FOMO, using social proof, or even just our natural bias towards anything new and novel. A really good hook is going to hit one or more of these triggers to snatch our attention.
You know, the hooks that create some kind of tension or a contradiction, those are especially powerful. Take this one, for example. My content was going viral, my DMs were dead quiet. Whoa. Right away, it makes you ask, wait, how is that even possible? See, our brains are literally wired to seek out resolution, and a hook like this presents a little puzzle that we feel this intense, almost urgent need to solve.
But here's the thing. A great hook isn't just for us humans. It's also speaking a language that the platform's algorithm totally understands. So let's switch gears a bit and talk about what these platforms are actually rewarding.
When you get right down to it, all social media algorithms have one main goal: keep you on their platform for as long as humanly possible. Why? Well, because more time on the platform means more ads they can show you. It's that simple. So these algorithms are basically digital bloodhounds, constantly hunting for signals that a piece of content is going to hold your attention. And that strong hook, that's the first, most crucial signal they're looking for.
And it's pretty clear that some platforms are just built differently when it comes to fostering engagement. Just look at these numbers. Across every single follower range, from the smallest micro-influencers all the way up to the megastars, TikTok consistently, and I mean consistently, outperforms Instagram on average engagement. Its whole environment is just engineered for that interaction.
And this is super important. Each platform values slightly different signals. So for TikTok, it's obsessed with completion rate and rewatches. It wants you to watch that tight, satisfying loop over and over.
Instagram, on the other hand, prioritizes shares and sends, content that's so good you just have to show a friend. And then you've got YouTube Shorts, which is all about that brutal first impression, the ratio of how many people viewed versus how many just swiped away. So what happens when a piece of content sends all the right signals? Well, it triggers what's called algorithmic amplification. This data from a real viral YouTube video shows exactly how it works. See, it started by dominating in search results, but once it proved it could hold an audience, the algorithm went, okay, this is good, and started pushing it into new discovery channels, like browse features and suggested videos. And that's when its growth just exploded.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the algorithm. Let's dive back into the human side of this whole equation and explore the deep-seated psychology that's actually driving our behavior when we're scrolling through our feeds.
So, one of the most powerful reasons we share things is something Jonah Berger calls social currency. To put it simply, we share stuff that makes us look good, right? We want to seem smart or funny or like we're in the know. Sharing becomes this way of building our own personal brand, our identity, for everyone else to see.
And this is just a perfect example of social currency in action. The story of this place, Please Don't Tell, it's a secret bar hidden inside a hot dog joint in New York. The whole thing is built on this idea. Just knowing about it makes you feel like an insider. It gives you this status. And that feeling is so valuable, you can't help but feel compelled to share it.
All right, another huge driver is what's known as the curiosity gap. This is that feeling of psychological tension you get when a hook teases you with some information but doesn't fully reveal it. It's that nagging feeling of, I need to know how this ends, that just keeps us watching.
And a hook like this one? I thought I was doing everything right until I saw this one stat. I mean, that is a masterclass in creating a curiosity gap. It just opens this loop in our minds. What was the stat? What were they doing wrong? It becomes almost physically uncomfortable not to find out the answer. And that very discomfort is what drives the click and what drives the watch time.
So here's the really crucial point. It's how these three different elements, that powerful hook, the hungry algorithm, and our own human psychology, how they all lock together to create this incredibly powerful self-reinforcing cycle.
And here you can see it, the viral feedback loop in action. It all starts with a strong hook that gets high click-through rates and really strong retention. That initial success gives the algorithm confidence, so it starts increasing the distribution. Then the content reaches an even wider audience, which just accelerates its growth even more. It is quite literally a perfect storm.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Look, you can't guarantee a home run every single time. It's just not possible. But by understanding the science behind it all, you can dramatically improve your batting average. Virality isn't magic, it's a process. It's about aligning our own human psychology with what the algorithms are designed to find. And it all starts with that one simple question. What are you going to do with those first 3 seconds?